Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden. And before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video on Facebook. Okay, so it's gonna be a hot one right now. Okay, so we are on the side garden of my house, and it is late afternoon, and it is already 80 degrees here, and it's pretty warm. And I want to do some work on this portion. This faces west, so we're getting the most heat right here. And I have a whole bunch of weeds that need to be pulled. And this ground is pretty dry actually, which I also need to go ahead and check our drip lines, make sure that that's all okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm coming here and I'm soaking in the soil some, so that it'll be easier for me to pull out some of these weeds. I think this will just make my life a whole lot easier. And we're going to pull up these weeds. We're going to plant a couple of new varieties of plants. We're going to be planting some Jupiter Speared. We're also going to be planting some petunias in here as well for a little seasonal color. And then also we're going to be planting two of the terracotta urns over here. We're going to be adding in some beautiful Eugenia topiaries that I got from Costco. Okay, so let's get down in here. So this area gets weedy every year. And oh, I already sat in a wet spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my fork like this. This is my fork that belonged to great-grandfather. And I'm just coming in after I've moistened the soil, and I'm lifting from underneath with it, and I'm going to start pulling out the weeds. And that just really helps to loosen up the weeds between the water and lifting with the fork. Makes it more likely that I can get the root of the weed. And I saw this process on a TikTok video because, of course, you know, all I do is watch like garden stuff. I absolutely love it. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So here we are, giving this a try, and look how easily these are coming out just by spending a little time, moistening everything down, and then coming in with the fork to extract them. Now, typically I would just come in here while this is, you know, dry actually, and work from there, which is not going to be extremely helpful. And a lot of the roots would just get stuck down I would just be pulling off like the green top part of this, as opposed to actually getting to the actual roots down below, which means that the weeds would just keep coming back. Now, one thing I'm trying to be really careful over here is I do have some foxglove in some places. So I need to be careful not to lift the foxglove as I'm coming in. And thankfully, I know what those seedlings look like. They kind of have like a waffled leaf effect, which is very different from the weeds around it. Okay, so I know this is out of order, but I need this plastic bag to pick up all the scraps. So I'm going to go ahead and lay in mulch. And I am going to be mulching pretty thickly right here because this area should really struggle with weeds. Not because I don't mulch, or not because of any reason except complete neglect. That's what I need to say. And I should be heavily mulching this area every year, and I don't. And it needs to be heavily mulched because First of all, it's a west-facing garden. And it gets friggin' hot over here. And this is just better for the plants overall if they have more mulch to retain moisture. Secondly, it will help repress all these weeds. So I'm going around the foxglove. I thought I had more foxglove over here, but I only see 4 seedlings. So I guess either I accidentally pulled them up or I had some didn't make it, because I thought I planted a bunch over here, but maybe some didn't make it. Okay, so let's talk about the plan for this area. Now, the future plan will be to have some big, beautiful trellis here that also coordinates in size and styling compared to another one that I want to put further down the west wall. But for now, I don't have the money to buy that particular trellis. I want it to be squared off, clean. I think it's going to be metal, not wood, but I haven't decided yet. All right. Now we've got over here, we've got a beautiful Italian stone pine that's potted up. It kept falling over this year. It needs to have a little bit of a refill on soil. So we're going to be looking at that. In this urn and this urn, we're going to be installing topiaries. So some Eugenia topiaries into both of these. And they're both set up to drip. These used to be in the backyard. I didn't really do much with them last year. They were literally just in a corner. So bringing them out here, they're nice and heavy. I think they'll be able to withstand the winds pretty well. Now, we have a big negative space back here for the time being. I had a couple of phlox back there. I don't know if they're going to come back. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here with some Jupiter's beard and some David's phlox in this area to kind of fill it in and soften this portion of the wall. Both of them are perennials. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so I've got 3 Jupiter's beard that I grew from seed that I'm just going to tuck into this back portion here, just like that. And they should get about 2 to 3 feet tall. And then I'm also going to work in some David's phlox, which is a beautiful white phlox, which will bloom really pretty, but then die back because it doesn't really like the heat of our summers. Actually, I'm going to put it right about there. But I think that's a really good way to put in some perennials to give me some spring color. Now, this doesn't really help necessarily for summer color. The Jupiter's beard, I can cut back a little bit. Hold on. The Jupiter's beard, I can cut back a little bit. I can, like, after a flush, I can cut it back and it'll give me a new flush. We'll see. The Jupiter's beard can flop. So can the phlox, so I might have to put some structures in here at a later point in time. But these are brand new perennials grown from either seed or bare root. I don't think they're going to need a lot of structure right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted up. And during that, I'm going to talk to you about all the information about Jupiter's beard and David's phlox. And I did want to say I'm using a little bit of biotone planting each of these. Jupiter's beard mix is a hardy perennial with clusters of star-shaped flowers in shades of red, pink, and white. It grows 24 to 36 inches tall and spreads 18 to 24 inches wide, thriving in full sun with well-draining soil. Blooms from late spring to fall attract butterflies and bees, and it's drought-tolerant once established and great for cottage gardens or borders. David Phlox is a tall, fragrant perennial with pure white flower clusters that bloom from summer to fall. It reaches 3 to 4 feet tall and spreads 2 to 3 feet wide, thriving in full sun to partial shade with moist, well-draining soil, resistant to powdery mildew and attracts pollinators. Ideal for borders, cottage gardens, and cut flower arrangements, which you know I'm excited about. Okay, I think that those perennials are going to go a long way to fill in this space. And then, like I said, eventually we'll do the trellis. So what I want to do now is I want to shift over to the Italian stove pine. I need to top it off with some soil. I had to put a couple of rocks in here to weight it down. I need to top it off with some soil because when it fell over, a bunch of soil fell out. And then let's go ahead and get started planting up these terracotta planters. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put back in my drip irrigation here. And I'm going to put it in place. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and top the top of the soil with some mulch as well, to once again help with temperature and water retention because we are on the west side of the house. All right, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these 2 big rocks back in to continue weighing it down in place. Now, let's mess around in this urn. Now, unfortunately, I am out of compost. I am out of fertilizer. So I'm going to have to add fertilizer at a later point. Okay, so here's the Eugenia. So I'm going to start by removing it from the pot, leaning it just right over here. And then I'm going to use this pot to fill with some soil. And then now the soil that we put in the pot, we'll use to backfill it. And I really do want to make sure I get this soiled down and around the root ball here. And that will help better secure this in place. Good. I'm going to take my drip irrigation, put that in place, and then once again I'm going to top this with some mulch. There we go. Just for height comparison, I'm 5'10". That's a lot of height on this wall, which this wall was very severely lacking in height. Let's do the other one. Eugenia shrubs are evergreen with dense, glossy green foliage that can be shaped into hedges, topiaries, and privacy screens. They are hardy in zones 9 through 11 and thrive in full sun to partial shade with well-draining soil. Fast-growing and heat-tolerant, they respond well to pruning and can be maintained at various heights. Small white flowers appear in spring, followed by red berries that attract birds. Drought-resistant, once established, they make excellent low-maintenance landscaping plants. Okay, I'm going to water these in really well, and the new perennials that I just put in. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to plant some petunias for a little bit of seasonal color in this area. I really like my approach lately of, hold up. I really like my approach lately of working a whole area at one time instead of bunches of little projects all over the place. I think it just gives me better vision for the potential of an area. Hi.
Your yard is so pretty.
Thank you. Oh, you're the one with the puppy who likes to be carried, right?
Yeah, she doesn't like to walk.
I'm the one I stopped in the, yeah. The only thing I like more than gardening is dogs, so. Yeah, that was funny. I was all like,
yeah, we get to the corner and then she'll walk maybe all the way home or.
yeah, sweet girl, whatever she wants.
Yeah.
She's the boss. Thank you. Okay. And then finally, to wrap up this project, I have some petunias that I grew from seed. Now, I want to preface this with, in my particular area, I don't actually suggest putting petunias on the west side of your garden unless you have excellent drainage, excellent watering, because they don't love the heat. And these will not last through the end of May, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'll probably backfill them with some zinnias or something. I am planning on growing a bunch of, well, I actually started a whole bunch of zinnias. So that's okay. I grew these from seed with the express purpose of being able to have zero guilt if they don't last long. Oh, my husband just got home from work. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck some of these in this particular mix. It's a double cascade mix, so it's a bunch of different colors. And I think they'll look really nice. Double cascade mixed petunias are lush trailing petunias with large, fully double, ruffled blooms in shades of pink, purple, and white. They grow 10 to 15 inches tall and spread up to 30 inches, making them perfect for hanging baskets, containers, and garden borders. Thriving in full sun, they require well-draining soil and regular watering for continuous blooms. Okay, I'm pretty pleased, y'all. The Eugenia topiaries. We've got Jupiter's beard, Jupiter's beard, Jupiter's beard, David's phlox, David phlox. And we tucked in these beautiful double cascade petunias that I grew from seed. Got this guy cleaned up and weighted down, and then filled in that topiary. Mulched everything in, looks nice and clean. I'm tired, that was a lot of work, and it's hot. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Watch me go through this area. It's amazing, the transformation. Really feel like I'm starting to level up on my gardening stuff. I've just got a lot of structure going in, which is really nice, and I planned far enough ahead of time growing from seed that I've been able to add a lot of color and a lot of perennials for very inexpensive, which has made room for purchases like these topiaries, which is really, really, really exciting. I'm gonna keep looking for something for here on this big blank wall. It's gonna be gorgeous. All right, y'all, as always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow my videos so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to jump over and check me out on my Patreon community. The link is in the video description. It is all things gardening, all things She's a Mad Gardener. There's a free tier and then there are paid level tiers after that. The higher up you are in the tier, the more access you get, including exclusive videos, chats, sharing photos, just chatting with everybody. It's really, really fun. Everybody's starting to share photos now, which I'm so excited because I love seeing other people's gardens. I'm such a voyeur like that. I want to see what everybody else is doing, which is awesome. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.